Episode 5 Matthews Auto Repair. By the time I was old enough to really remember things, Matthews Auto Repair was already part of our life. The shop sat just off Chicago Avenue in a worn brick building with a faded metal sign hanging over the garage door. Inside, it always smelled the same: motor oil, hot metal, rubber tires, and cheap coffee that Daddy drank every morning. The radio stayed on all day, playing old R&B like the 70s never ended. Me and Mandy spent a lot of afternoons there after school. Daddy would point toward the back and say, "Find something to do that don't involve touching my tools." Mandy would roll her eyes. "I wasn't gonna touch nothing." Daddy wouldn't even look up from the engine. "That's how I know you lying." Mr. Alvarez still came around most days. He had gray hair and grease under his fingernails, no matter how many times he washed his hands. One afternoon, he pointed at me and Mandy sitting on milk crates. "You letting these girls grow up in a garage." Daddy tightened a bolt and said, "Better than letting them grow up thinking money fall out the sky." A skinny kid from the neighborhood named Little Reggie used to sweep the floor for a few dollars. He asked 100 questions every day. "Mr. Matthews, what this part do? Mr. Matthews, how you know when an engine bad? Mr. Matthews, you think I could do this one day?" Daddy answered him seriously every time. "You learn your math first." "Why?" "Because engines don't respect people who can't count." Another regular visitor was Drelo Harris. Half the neighborhood knew him. The other half tried not to. He'd lean in the garage doorway wearing his leather jacket and smile like trouble was part of his personality. "Unc," he'd say. Daddy would look up instantly. "Don't call me that." "Why not?" "Because I'm not your uncle." Drelo laughed. "You got uncle energy, though." Daddy pointed a wrench at him. "I got pay me or leave energy." That always made the shop laugh. Back then, the garage felt like the safest place in the world. Tools clanging, radio playing, Daddy working. It felt steady, like nothing bad could reach us there. But things were already changing. Mandy was getting older, and boys had started noticing her. One afternoon, I stood in the shop doorway and looked across the courtyard. Mandy was standing there with a boy I had never seen before. He leaned against a car like he owned the block. Too comfortable, too smooth. I asked Daddy, "Who is that?" He looked across the courtyard and this whole expression changed. "That," he said, "is somebody I don't want near my daughter." That was the first time I heard the name Tone Watkins.